Experiencing technical difficulties. Hold on just a second. Okay, let's go back and retrace our steps a little bit. I had a mic issue. So basically, I was saying that time uh, and having a transformation in each religion is essential to that religion. If there's no transformation, then the religion is stale. It's gotten rotten and it's gotten old. But every religion that allows for you to have this transformation from basically knowing God to or not knowing God to knowing God uh, is the doorway to being in His house. You're welcome in God's house at all times, but a lot of people are afraid to go into the house or through the doorway. But anyway, so this transformation, I'm going to explain very simply how it happens. And once I explain it using this little marker pen here, you'll understand that what I'm talking about, transformation from uh, living and knowing versus living your life going through life believing and not knowing. Okay, so here we go. Here's our pen again. It's got this rubber band on it. Um, like I said, time is basically from past to future on this pen using it as an example. And in the middle of the pen is living life in the moment. So there's this middle point on this pen, and if you can live moment to moment, then you don't live on the horizontal plane anymore. Okay, if you can live in the now, you should say, then the energy shifts to a vertical plane. And when the energy shifts to a vertical plane, then you don't feel the stress of time anymore. Time can pull, like how this rubber band gets pulled. You um, feel the stress of time a little bit, but if you live moment to moment, it doesn't affect you. And if you live this moment to moment lifestyle for long enough, then enough energy shifts and goes into the law of levitation versus the law of gravitation. With time, it pulls you this way, and you might feel pulled towards the spiritual world and pulled upward, but time tries to pull you back through either greed or fear or some negative emotion that kind of keeps you on the horizontal plane. But if you meditate and meditate often and practice awareness and practice living in the moment, in the present moment, don't look for a future. Forget about the past. Let all that stuff go and live so that you are uh, in a state of levitation, you should say. And like I said, once 51% of your energy uh, goes upwards past the center point, then you kind of stay living this way, going through life, basically um, in a vertical state, not feeling the stress of time. Time will fly by, and that's one of the sure signs of someone who has become enlightened is that time just flies by. Happy-go-lucky people have the same thing too. That life just flows by, and it's just like a blur. It's like, wow, that was 20 years. Oh my God. um, it's been 20, I think 23, 24 years now since I discovered this law of levitation and how to live this way, how to live in the vertical state of being versus the horizontal state of being. I used to be like this too. I used to be pulled by time and pulled by fear into the past, and greed into the future. Um, that was definitely me for quite a long time, until I discovered meditation, and I discovered how to raise energy, um, up through these chakra systems, they call them, up through your energy centers. Uh, and so many kind of neat things start happening to you when you start raising energy up into these centers. You become clairvoyant, for a lot of people do. You start understanding things that uh, you could never understand before, because before you may have been closed off. You may have been um, distracted, or put off by things you didn't understand. Um, and I know that it's scary to be open to the new, and to be open to what you don't understand and what you don't know. But um, the truth is that there's so much out there that is so beautiful, and so there's so much in life, so much to learn from all these different traditions. And these traditions, like the beads on the necklace, if you go in, and once you understand the thread, and understand the core essence of that religion, then you can study it too, and it won't hinder you from whatever path you think you are. So if you're a Christian, that doesn't mean you can't study meditation and Buddhism, because in a sense, Buddhism is not really a religion to say. There's no rituals to follow. There's nobody to pray to. In fact, a lot of times Buddha would say there was no such thing as God. That doesn't mean that he didn't know that God existed, but believing in God can be the last hindrance, uh, keeping you off of his, or out of his house. Because any belief you might have is like an idea of what you think that God might be. And believe me, any idea that you think God is actually going to be an illusion. Um, when you make that transformation into the vertical plane, uh, this is when all the illusions stop. This is when um, life becomes magical. Because if there's any magic that I know in this world, is just this: that the law of levitation applies and carries you beyond all the fear, all the hatred, all the negativity, all that in life that wore you down and took away your energy. It doesn't mean you won't feel these things again. Like I said, you're on the vertical plane, but the pull of things can definitely have an effect on you. But if you stay centered, and you focus on living in the present moment, then you still will stay on the vertical plane. I don't know of any enlightened person who's had been shifted back to the horizontal. I do know that when you have the divisions of like good and evil, uh, it can pull you and make you feel afraid. But that's a falling from the present moment. Um, this fear thing of what might be evil, what might be good, or this division, or what might happen to you sometime in the future because of if you don't live a good life. These are all lower things in the sense of dualities that can cause maybe like fear, or a pull, or a sensation of pulling back into to the horizontal. But that's why we practice awareness. That's why we practice consciousness and living in the moment. These things are to sharpen your sword and to help you to be more aware of the pitfalls of life. Bad things are going to happen to everybody. Uh, how you react to those things and how you are pulled, from your center, will definitely affect the outcome of how you address these things and how you approach things in the future. So anyway, I guess that's my 2 cents on living life in this total awareness state, um, how it can affect you, but why we should actually do this, and listen to these words that I'm saying to you. Is like, this is the reason why I keep preaching and making videos over and over and over that probably nobody ever listens to. But what it's like to be enlightened is like, it's quite an amazing thing. Uh, in a sense, what happens is, when you're not enlightened, you have all these questions. Uh, you know, questions upon questions. But the day you become enlightened, it's like your glass is filled with godliness, and there's so much to describe what that godliness is, and it may be different for every single person, but this godliness fills your cup so much that you have no more questions. The questions dissolve, and you just accept what is for what is. And like, I think it was uh, Socrates that said that the more I know, or the more I realize I know, then I realize I know nothing. Um, because before Socrates became enlightened, he was full of questions. But upon his enlightenment, all the questions were dissolved, um, and you become simple again. you you were maybe cunning or tricky, or maybe manipulative or whatever, but those things won't get you through the door. Um, so that's my 2 cents again for uh, what it's like to be enlightened, and what it means to be enlightened, and how to live this life full of levitation, and full of um, splendor and joy. All right. So I guess that's it. So I'll end it there and say thank you guys for joining me. And we're going to hit this here and call it a take. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. I had a mic issue. But thanks again for joining me, and take care of yourselves and be good to yourselves. And um, blue skies to all you skydivers out there. And aloha and mahalos to all you beautiful surfers out there in this world that are experiencing this bliss and joy that I'm talking about every day. Every day we can get out and surf is happy time. um, take care to my family, and much love. And I know if you're listening to this, or you haven't seen this until after I passed away, then just take my words to your hearts, and make that transformation. No matter what religion you're in, you can make the transformation. It's there. I think it's hidden in every religion. Um, Even though things may have been twisted and turned so that the transformation never happens, and they tell you the transformation will happen, after you die, then you get to go into God's house. But the truth is you can experience it now. You can go into God's house right now, and you can become a guest. The door's open. It's always been open, but everybody else keeps living on the porch and not understanding, why they're not welcome into the house. It's just because fear's stopping them from going in. All right, y'all. Mahalos, and take care of yourselves. Much love. Bye bye.